Hey guys, so picture this. I'm on this road trip, right? Coming back from visiting my family for the holidays. Now, I'm not exactly a road trip enthusiast. I much prefer flying. But this year the plane tickets were ridiculously expensive, so I had no choice but to hit the road. Everything was going fine until I encountered this eerie situation. It was late at night, around 10 p.m., and I had a hotel booked a couple of hours away. Suddenly, I noticed headlights in my rearview mirror, the first sign of life I'd seen on the road in over an hour. But as the vehicle approached, it became clear it was tailing me, a massive van looming uncomfortably close. Now, I'm not one to jump to conclusions, but the whole thing felt off. I took a chance and veered off at the next gas station exit, hoping to shake them off. But to my dismay, they followed suit. Alarm bells were ringing in my head as I pulled into the gas station, their van parking ominously behind me. Feeling uneasy, I kept a close eye on them as I fueled up. And then, it happened. The back door of the van swung open, and my gut instinct screamed at me to get out of there. I bolted into my car just in time as three figures rushed towards me. It was a heart-pounding moment, one that left me shaken to the core. I managed to escape unscathed, but the encounter left me with a chilling realization. I narrowly avoided becoming a victim of abduction on that desolate highway. I reported the incident to the authorities, but the culprits vanished without a trace. It's a stark reminder that danger can lurk in the most unexpected places, and we must always trust our instincts and stay vigilant on the road. And that's just one of the spine-tingling encounters I've had on the road. Stay tuned for more real-life stories that will send shivers down your spine. Hey everyone, get ready for a double dose of spine-chilling tales that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Our first story takes us back to a road trip I took a few years ago, and let me tell you, it was a journey I'll never forget. It was the holiday season and I was making the long drive back home after visiting family. Now, I'm not usually one for road trips. I much prefer the convenience of flying. But with sky-high ticket prices, hitting the road seemed like the only option. As I set out on the journey, I had no idea what was in store for me. The first leg of the trip was uneventful, with miles of empty roads stretching out before me. But as night fell, things took a sinister turn. I noticed a pair of headlights looming in my rearview mirror, the first sign of another vehicle on the road for hours. At first, I didn't think much of it, assuming it was just another traveler making their way through the night. But as the vehicle drew closer, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The headlights grew brighter and brighter until they were practically on top of me. A massive van hurtling down the deserted highway. My heart pounded in my chest as the van pulled up behind me, matching my speed with eerie precision. For what felt like an eternity, the van trailed behind me, its presence looming like a shadow in the darkness. I tried to rationalize it, telling myself it was just a fellow traveler making their way home. But deep down, I knew something wasn't right. When an exit for a gas station finally appeared, I seized the opportunity to escape. But to my horror, the van followed me off the highway, its menacing presence refusing to be shaken. As I pulled into the gas station, I braced myself for whatever was to come. With trembling hands, I filled up my tank, all the while keeping a wary eye on the van parked ominously behind me. And then it happened, a chilling moment that would haunt me for years to come. As I stood at the pump, I watched in horror as the back door of the van swung open, revealing three shadowy figures emerging from the darkness. Panic surged through me as I realized I was in grave danger. With adrenaline coursing through my veins, I leaped into my car and peeled out of the gas station, the van hot on my heels. It was a harrowing chase that seemed to stretch on for an eternity, the van's headlights piercing the darkness like the eyes of a predator. But just when I thought all hope was lost, the van suddenly veered off into the night, disappearing into the darkness as quickly as it had appeared. It was a narrow escape that left me shaken to the core, a chilling reminder of the dangers that lurk in the shadows. I reported the incident to the authorities, but the van was never found, leaving behind nothing but unanswered questions and a lingering sense of dread. To this day, I can't help but wonder what would have happened if I hadn't managed to escape, a thought that sends shivers down my spine every time I think about it. And now for our second bone-chilling tale, we're diving into the world of late-night pizza deliveries, a seemingly mundane job that turned into a nightmare straight out of a horror movie. It was the dead of night, and I was out on the streets making deliveries for a local pizza joint. The streets were deserted, the only sound the quiet hum of my car engine as I made my way through the darkness. As I approached the next delivery address, something felt off. The GPS led me to a remote business center on the outskirts of town, far from the bustling streets I was accustomed to. But I brushed off the feeling of unease and followed the directions, eager to complete my delivery and get back home. When I arrived at the address, I was greeted by a scene straight out of a nightmare. The parking lot was empty, the only light coming from the dim glow of the street lamps overhead. But as I stepped out of my car and approached the building, I knew something was terribly wrong. The glass doors swung open to reveal a middle-aged man with a sinister grin plastered across his face. He seemed overly eager, almost too eager, as he welcomed me inside and eagerly paid for the pizzas. But as he led me deeper into the building, alarm bells started ringing in my head. Something about the situation felt off, and I couldn't shake the feeling of dread that washed over me. With a sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach, I declined his offer of help and made a hasty retreat back to my car. As I sped away from the building, I couldn't shake the feeling that I had narrowly escaped a dangerous situation, one that could have ended in disaster. It was a chilling reminder of the dangers that lurk in the darkness, and a night I'll never forget as long as I live. And there you have it. 2 bone-chilling tales that will leave you sleeping with the lights on. Stay tuned for more spine-tingling stories coming your way soon.